Now to Israel, which is poised to form one of the most hardline religious and nationalist governments in its history. On Sunday, the prime minister-to-be, Benjamin Netanyahu, signed an agreement naming a far-right politician, Avi Myos, known for his anti-gay and sexist views, to be the government's head of Jewish identity. Another ultra-nationalist politician, Itamar Ben-Gvir, is set to become national security minister under the deal. He is also known for his Arab comments and has a past conviction for racism. And for more on all of this, we're joined by Yossi Mekelberg. He is an associate fellow at the Chatham House. Thanks so much for being with us here on France 24. What can we expect to come out of a government with such hardliners at the helm?
Well, these were the results of this election, and I think many of us are very much concerned to see the development. We already see signs of what to come, as summoning people that object the government to investigation, or at least to questioning by police. In Hebron on Friday, left human rights activists, leftists, were attacked by police and told by soldiers, Ben-Gvir will actually make sure that there is order right now, put some order in what's happening, and those are human rights activists protecting Palestinians in Hebron. I think there is a grave concern what's going to happen to Israel as a democracy. Yes, we need to respect the democratic decision by the Israeli people in the ballot box, but if those who were elected are going to destroy the democracy, then I think also the international community should follow it closely.
Well, so Avi Myos with the fringe Noam party has called on Israel to close the military to women, to limit immigration, to shut down gay pride parades. In practice, what might his appointment to this post as minister change in any kind of practical way?
I can't think about someone that's so unsuitable to this position as this person. Israel, at its best, has been is a diverse country which can, inclusive. It's always been as an issue about inclusivity. But if we get to this type of excluding women and LGBTQ plus from society, and who knows who is next, I think this is the time also inside Israel for the progressive voices to raise their voice, and also to the international community. Tell Israel, if Israel benefited immensely from being so-called the only democracy in the Middle East. If it goes into this direction, I think they're actually putting themselves out of the camp of the democratic world. If people are going, being discriminated for being women, for being gay, the next thing of opposing political opinion of the current government, we see it already. I can't remember in all my years of following Israeli politics a time of such serious concern about the direction the country is heading to, domestically, but also internationally. Those are the same people that want the living, the thrive on conflict with the Palestinians in the world. That's what they believe in. That's what they're trying to push the government. And the prime minister is one that is very weak because of his corruption trial. So they will be able to pressure him and pressure him further into this direction.
When we speak about Itamar Ben-Gvir and his background, what are his positions on Palestine, for example, a two-state solution, and what would his involvement mean in this government going forward in terms of policy?
This is definitely not, whether it's two-state solution, another arrangement which is peaceful and just and fair to everyone between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea. This is not the government that can bring this kind of peace. I think what this government means is more oppression of Palestinian people. This means entrenchment of the occupation, even further expansion of settlement. And when you end the Ministry of Public Security into hand of someone that was convicted in the past for racism and supporting terrorist group, I think it tells you everything that you need to know. And this is, this government, the prime minister is one that's facing, as we speak, a trial for corruption. One of the most senior ministers is someone that already spent time in jail for corruption and for avoiding tax. And then you have the Ben-Gvir and others. They're far right extremists, and this will actually set the tone where Israel is going at the time.
Yeah, let's not forget, Netanyahu is facing this ongoing criminal trial, charges of bribery, fraud, breach of trust. How can he effectively govern with all of that hanging over his head?
Not only governing, the only thing to enable him governing is to change a law in which will basically stop his trial. I think there is an attack on every aspect of the democratic system in Israel, mainly the justice system, an attack on the Supreme Court, and what we'll see in the very next few weeks and months when this government, which will be the most far-right government in the history of the country, in which the balance of power and check and balances are gradually removed, in which the government take control more and more and what's happening in every aspect of the country. And in this sense, a weakened Supreme Court, weakened justice system means a weakened democracy.
Okay, we want to thank you, Yossi Mekelberg, Associate Fellow at the Chatham House, for speaking with us here on France 24. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.